Warning!
Now, this review may have some spoilers for those that have never played the Zero games. If for those of you who want to keep these spoilers to a very minimum, then I would suggest you don't watch this, because I will be giving a little synopsis on the storyline of the 4 games. So, enough that aside, please enjoy. MegaMan Zero. Such an amazing series. These games take place approximately 100 years after the X series. Not that we ever know when the X games will end, if Capcom ever plans to make a Mega Man X9, which will probably never happen. Sadness. All that aside, the Zero games take the concept from the X games and throw in more options and such. These games were definitely the best games that were released for the Game Boy Advance before the DS was released. The Mega Man Zero collection takes the best of the series and puts all 3 amazing games onto one DS card. Wait, I think I forgot something. Oh well. The Zero collection brings every single entry into the 4-game franchise, thus making this collection a must for any fan of the games. You start the game on a menu that offers an easy mode that allows you to play through all 4 games without stopping. Now, Zero 4 was the first and last in the series to offer an easy mode. I've never played through easy mode because, well, it'd be too easy for me and no fun. I need a challenge in these games, and that's what makes them really fun for me. The games play exactly as they did on the Game Boy Advance. You might be complaining about the control scheme as I did when I played Zero 1 on my DS Lite the night I got it for Christmas, using my old Zero 1 cartridge. Thankfully, Capcom followed the ZX series and allowed these controls to be modified to make it feel more comfortable while playing through levels and killing bosses. For example, you go to the control menu from the pause screen and tap the touchscreen. You can then modify the button layout, making the Y button act as the B button on your DS. Some of you may be thinking that the B button was your jump button in ZX and ZX Advent. True, but what I'm saying is that you now have the option to move your controls and to replicate the control scheme of ZX games, which was a huge selling point for me. All the games are excellent as they were when they were released. Now, a major addition to the collection is that by playing all the games, you can unlock something called mod cards. Now, these cards are used for Zero 3 to make a small adjustment to the game. For example, you can have cards that put caps in the resistance base, slap graffiti all over the base, even modify the power levels for Zero's weapons.
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
Not quite. You're not at the level of Super Saiyan, but your weapons will definitely inflict more damage on the bosses. Hell, you can even mod the title screen for Zero 3 to put a different render of Zero on there. All these mods are pretty insignificant, but they are kind of neat to play around with. Now for complaints. I would complain about the controls if the collection didn't give you the option to change them around to mimic the ZX control setup. I'll get to my major complaints in a second, but why would the mod cards be for only Zero 3? Why not give the option to use them on all the games? Now that would have been cool. Oh well. Now for my major complaint. Why is Zero 4 in this collection? Ugh! For those of you who don't know, I hate Zero 4. I loved the previous 3 because you could customize Zero's abilities through training, killing bosses at rank A, and using the Cyber Elves. Zero 4 threw all that I loved from the previous games out the window and stuck you with a single Cyber Elf that you had to farm energy crystals for just so you could get new skills. If you were to equip all available skills and went over the limit of how many skill points you could have equipped, then you were flat out screwed over in the mission rank department and you wouldn't be helped at all. Sure, that elf could shoot elemental shots at bosses, but wait! Weren't you able to equip elements to your weapons in the previous 3 once you obtained the right chip from a boss? See, it's all these little things that kill the game for me. Another killjoy for me in that game was the addition of Zero Knuckle weapon. Sure, you could use your enemy's abilities for yourselves, but I would rather have a new rod in my boomerang shield. Hell, I'd take the chain rod over the Zero Knuckle any day of the week. At least with the chain rod, I could imitate Indiana Jones with his whip. At least that's really cool. Now, if you haven't played any of the games in the Zero franchise, here's a brief synopsis. Zero is awakened in Zero 1 and has amnesia.
Not a big surprise.
He works with a girl named Sile, who's the one and only is one of the only genuine humans in the game, and fights with the resistance against New Arcadia, which is essentially a city made up of nothing but humans and Reploids living in peace and harmony, bullshit, who was led by a clone of MegaMan X. The real X is dead and is now flying as a cyber elf, which is essentially a Reploid ghost, or robot ghost. Zero continues to work with Sile and the Resistance to save all humans and Reploids alike from crazed soldiers such as El Pizzo and the mad scientist Dr. Wilde. Recurring characters like the 3 of 4 Guardians, Tefner, Leviathan, and Harpia make constant appearances until the end of Zero 3. The 4th, Phantom, was killed by Zero at the end of Zero 1, just so you aren't confused, even though you can fight him as an extra hidden boss in Zero 3, which is amazing! Not only does Zero fight for all humans and Reploids, but he's also fighting to protect the planet. At the end of Zero 4, which I was able to beat on easy mode and not normal, sadness, it's the final showdown with Wilde, and while you do kill him, it's up in the air if Zero survives or not. My guess is that he died at the end of Zero 4, which sucks, but also explains why you can essentially turn into Zero in the ZX games. It's a DS game. It's copy-paste from the Game Boy Advance games. They all look really good. I mean, it's true, they don't fill up the whole screen, but that's expected with a Game Boy Advance game on a DS Lite. Come on. They all look really good. Despite Zero 4 being suck! The MIDI arrangements in the games may not be your cup of tea, but they've inspired some amazing covers from Capcom in the Rockman Zero Remaster Tracks album, which is what I've been playing in the background this entire time. The in-game music itself for the Game Boy Advance is some of the best music you've ever heard coming from that little handheld. It sounds so much better with the stereo setup that the DS has, and it's simply put, beautiful. Dare I say, beautiful! Haha! Anyways. Overall, the Mega Man Zero collection is a steal. For about $35, I landed 3 of my all-time favorite games. I cannot recommend this DS card enough to do it justice. This collection is a must for all Mega Man fans. Go out and pick up a copy and rejoice in the amazing! Who knows? Maybe you'll enjoy Zero 4 more than I did.